Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Blu-rayDave back in another MCU related video. Now, I've talked about this a few times in brief moments, talking about the MCU. Um, let's just get this question out of the way. What does the Marvel Cinematic Universe mean to you? And for those of you who are new and want to know what the MCU is, it's Disney's Marvel. Starting from Iron Man to, current. But I guess you could also consider the X-Men movies, the old Fantastic Fours and Daredevil movies, Disney related too, because, Disney owns Fox, right? But they aren't canon to the current MCU as of the recording of this video, right? Um, and I'm still happy to this day with the MCU. There's phases, right? I think that should be important to every MCU fan because, and I made sure I kept this important and part of my life. Like, each phase of the MCU represents, like, how I'm going through phases in my life. Like, phase one of the MCU is really nobody understands or understood what the MCU was. You got Iron Man, The Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America, the First Avenger, Marvel's The Avengers. Um, in phase two, I felt like everybody knew and like was caught up with the MCU. But maybe there's some that quite don't understand. And of course, phase three is when everyone is invested, right? Right? Like, yes, with each phase, it can work with all age groups, right? Um, yeah, with Iron Man 3 starting phase 2, I definitely was aware, but I had no idea what it was called the MCU until like 2015 was when I did my homework, my MCU homework, and it ended with Ant-Man. So with that phase of my life, like it was pretty interesting times, but also fun times. Phase 3 of my life, um, Captain America Civil War, ending with Spider-Man Far From Home. Um, that phase was my high school phase, right? Seriously, I would love to hear in the comments how your guys' experiences with the MCU and your personal lives. Like, uh, you don't have to go too specific if you don't want to, because again, it would be personal information. But like, maybe point out some specific plot points or details that the MCU has impacted your life. Like, Civil War was pretty much the new chapter, right? Pretty much the new chapter in my life. Like, um, I had to go back to public school again, second semester of freshman year. Let me tell you, Civil War was the fun summer movie to enjoy. Like, I got to watch it twice in the theaters. And the cool thing is that I'm keeping this in record, by the way. Up from Civil War to Far From Home, I've watched every single Phase 3 film in the movie theater. And I have never been dedicated slash committed to a franchise like that to watching into a theater. Like, Guardians was the first MCU movie I saw in the theaters, right? But Captain America the First Avenger was the first MCU film I ever got to watch. Um, and I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. Seriously, this is me being real to you guys. This was unintentional, right? Like, because, when you're a minor, still living with your parents, and you're kind of gambling with yourself, like, should I ask my parents if they could take me to see this movie or that movie? But, like, oh, man. I'm not sure how long this video is going to go, but I think with Phase 3, I could talk about each film, hopefully not too long, but, like, again, with my personal experiences, like, I liked how each film kept getting better in Phase 3. Yeah, Phase 3 is when everyone is, like invested. I don't know if I said that earlier in the video, but it's true. Oh, that Powerade is so good. Gotta get those electrolytes. Um, so Civil War came out in May 2016, right? I saw it with EverFun. That was the first time I saw it. And I believe it was after school I got to see it again with my brother, the Eradicator, and my good YouTube buddy, Gav Gamer. And if you guys watch How It Should Have Ended and when he made his Civil War review, he was so right what he said. Like, always watch movies twice, you guys. I had a better perspective. Honestly, when I was a kid, when I would see movies in the movie theater, and when I saw them on the physical disc, it looked so different. Like, they aren't what I expected them to be, like, the same. Like, but then again, it was just my childhood mind. Like, it wasn't processing everything. Let me know in the comments if you guys have been through those experiences in the past. Oh man, I could not stop talking about Civil War ever since the movie came out. And at that time, I considered it to be my all-time favorite Captain America movie. Still to this day, Captain America, perfect 10 out of 10 trilogy. All of them are great. Remember, my mom pre-ordered the 3D copy off of Target. I don't know what their Target exclusives were. Like, they had a sticker on them and they say, like, oh, free digital stuff. Like, well, where was I supposed to watch the digital stuff? So, I think I got it the day after its home video release. Oh, man. Just remembered all the genuine reactions that my family was seeing this movie. Like, this includes my grandpa. Okay, he saw it. Enter Doctor Strange, right? That comes out. When did this come out? November 2016. This was a movie I saw in 3D, and it was so cool to see in 3D. I still want to get the Blu-ray 3D copy of it. Remember, me, my brother, and Gav, we got to go see it in 3D. And when did the Blu-ray come out? Like, March, I believe, right, guys? Let's just say March. Of course, my parents were skeptical about it, how it was. Like, hey, Scott Derrickson, great director to direct that movie, right? Like, no disrespect to Sam Raimi, but from what I've heard over the years with Scott Derrickson's creative decisions for Multiverse of Madness, that sounds like a better cut of the film. And it's not Sam Raimi's fault for creating that disaster, that version. Of course, Disney being greedy and all that. So I'm not surprised. Hang on a second, guys. Sorry about that, guys. I had to blow my nose. Freaking allergies. The next movie to come out was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Now, every time I saw each of these films, I didn't consider every single one of these 10 out of 10. Because even back then, I knew, like, which ones were better than the others, right? Volume 2 was okay, right? It did what it had to do. It didn't live up to the stakes as the first one, even though back then I considered the second one to be my favorite Guardians movie. I even liked on the Blu-ray covers, they're like, oh, it's 11 out of 10. Like, I beg to frickin' differ. I think what really ruined it was ego. Like, I just don't like Kurt Russell, you know? I like his son Wyatt Russell better. It's just something about Kurt, you know, like, I don't know, man. He really does send off those egotistical vibes. Even though he's not like that in real life, I know. Haha, how convenient. I say that, and then he plays a villain called Ego. Yeah, that movie came out in May 2017. This was when I almost wrapped up sophomore year, right? I mean, sophomore year was pretty great, as I keep mentioning it. on and on in my videos. Me and Gav got to see Guardians too. Um, mhm. And I remember August was the initial release date, and I I was trying to find ways to build up money, just like to get like I want a Blu-ray copy of this. Like I don't care what version I get, just as long as I have it in my collection. I knew I would not ask my mom because back in the day she really hated the Guardians, but I think she has a better change, like perspective on them after Infinity War and Endgame. But after like October, like after my birthday, my dad and I went to Walmart, and then that was like the next thing I bought. Of course, like my dad enjoys the Guardians films too, so I can't wait to show him Guardians 3, right? Next movie, Spider-Man: Homecoming, July. Whoo boy! This was another film I could not stop talking about because after Tom Holland's brilliant performance in Civil War, like I was so excited for this film, and it was a perfect teenage summer film. Like Sony knew what they were doing with this movie, like especially to release it in the summertime, and uh, I was a junior already, right? Like it made sense, right? Like those high school vibes definitely related to Tom's version of Peter Parker. That film though, it helped me. Like it was a coping mechanism, right? Because I went through a loss, and um, man, I got to go see that one with my siblings, my mom, and Life Like Films because we were treating him for like for his birthday, so that was our birthday gift to him. And he looks a lot like Tom Holland. Oh man. And I remembered when high school started. Yeah, all I could ever think about was that movie. Like, even looking up like the Blu-ray releases, like, oh, which one am I gonna get? And of course, I went for the Target exclusive Digibook because the bonus discs always matters, guys. Like, if you love bonus content, go for the Target exclusive. I remember one night, and then this was on the release day too. Me, my dad, and my sister went to Target, and then there were still a bunch of them on the shelves. Like I grabbed one right away. I remember my dad wanted me to get the 4K release at Walmart, but like this was a time when I hated 4K, and we did not have a 4K player and a 4K TV. So out of all the Spider-Man movies, I definitely watched that one the most. Okay, Thor Ragnarok, right? That one came out November 2017. Now, I apologize in advance if I don't mention any of the TV shows. Like, some of them are still part of the MCU. Um, I didn't get to go see it on its release date, but I definitely saw it with Everfun. Remember having such a fun time with this movie. But over the years, I've realized, like, you know, Thor, he needs to be this humble character. They turn the previous Thor movies into a joke, which is unfortunate. Love and Thunder didn't help out at all. At least it made Ragnarok look better, you know? And then the Blu-ray release for that. Um, see, me and my mom, I believe my sister, and a friend that came with us at Walmart. See, I believe this Blu-ray came out in March as well, right, guys? I could be wrong. Um, thank God they still had a Blu-ray copy, so I got that one. I believe my dad and my brother, like when this movie was still in the theaters, they went to see it. All right, next movie, Black Panther, right? Um, And this is another one of those MCU films that's not really a 10 out of 10 movie for me. Even though it's good, um, I don't know. I don't know. I'd probably just give it like a 6 out of 10. Definitely better than The Lion King, though. Like, Chadwick Boseman, like, you could definitely tell he's a humbling dude, like, in person. And he never cussed in the films, which is good. February 2018, I saw this with Gav Gamer, his brother, and their mom. Oh, man. We all had a good time with this movie for sure. And made me excited for Infinity War. The Blu-ray for that, I was still in high school during this time, junior year, right? May. They had a lot of the Target exclusive copies, so like, no, just get the regular Blu-ray. Okay. Next up, Avengers Infinity War, April 2018. Ooh, boy. I felt like this was like the perfect film to end junior year, you know? This movie, just like with some of them, was a big deal, right? If you guys know the story, I did had a date back then. That was a much more fun experience. And of course, just like with some of the previous ones, this was a movie I would not stop talking about. And this movie came out August, like the Blu-ray. And I knew I had to get the Target exclusive because of the book. Perfect time that I got a job. And then, I don't know, like maybe the first couple weeks after that, that's when I bought it. The shopping video is still up, guys, if you want to go see it. Alright. Ant-Man and the Wasp, as usual, a perfect summer movie. Came out in July 2018. Me, Gav, and my brother got to go see it. In June, I went through a breakup. You know, the breakup of 2018, if you haven't checked out that story. I needed another coping mechanism, and Ant-Man and the Wasp helped. Yep. And then October 2018 was when the Blu-ray came out. I wanted to get the Target exclusive so bad, but they also had a really cool 3D lenticular slipcover. So they ran out of the Target exclusive, so I got the regular 4K copy because that was the only way you could get it with the 3D lenticular slipcover. Yeah, good times, man. Good times. All right, Captain Marvel. Of course, not a 10 out of 10 movie. Very divisive film. I do agree. I think it's okay. Just like with Guardians 2, it did what it needed to do, you know. I think March of 2019, right, when this film came out. Yeah. And then June 2019. Like, this was perfect timing when my sister's birthday came around. I got the Target exclusive, and I gave her, like, a regular DVD copy. Yeah. I have not watched Captain Marvel so many times, just like with Black Panther. And most of the Phase 4 films. There's reasons why for that, right, guys? Alright. Avengers Endgame, April 2019. Just like with the last one, this one was a big deal, right? Me and my sister got to go see it on the monster screen. I cried so many times with this one. Like, I don't know why I didn't cry during Infinity War, but Endgame is when it got me. Just because this film meant so much to me as an MCU fan. Like, you guys do not understand. Like, if you guys are new, you do not understand this movie until you watched all the previous movies starting with Iron Man. And just like everyone else, I was expecting the Defenders to pop in during the portal scene and, you know, Strange and Wong, they have a little dialogue exchange like, is that everyone? What, you wanted more? And I was thinking like, yeah, where are the Defenders? Where are the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Right? And August 2019 is when I got the Target exclusive for that one. Remember, I think it was the year after, the Target exclusive was going on clearance. It was like $10, right? So I gave that copy to my dad too. So he still has it shrink wrapped still. So he's lucky to get a Target exclusive copy of that one. And Endgame was the perfect ending of high school / graduation film. Because if you guys remembered, I believe it was in the teaser trailer, Tony says, part of the journey is the end. Like, the MCU has shown a reflection of my years in my high school years. Like, oh man, I remember even on graduation day, I said to, was it my buddy Gabe? What's up, bro? He was in front of me. Like we all had to stand in line. You know, like when you have to go up to the stage for graduation, they call your name. Like, oh my gosh, I even said the same line to him, and he agreed with me. Like, yes, part of the journey is the end. Uh-huh. So let me know in the comments, guys, how much of a big impact Endgame has had on your life. Did you thought it was a good graduation film too, or it could be anything else, right? But in recent years, I just see this one as an okay film. I think Infinity War is still the best Avengers film that has ever come out. So my top four Avengers films is definitely like Infinity War, Endgame, um, what is it? Um, The Avengers, and Age of Ultron. I was just kind of like everybody else is like Endgame, Infinity War, Ultron, Avengers, but like Spider-Man: Far From Home, again the perfect summer movie, end to end Phase 3. Like, yeah, I even thought Endgame was gonna end Phase 3, but nope. Like, you know what? We ended off with a lot of dark and heavy stuff with Endgame. Like, at least ended off with fun and lightheartedness with Far From Home. Um, this is the movie that not despised it, but I've said this a few times. When Disney and Sony couldn't agree on anything, like Disney wanted to have all the profits, that's when Sony decided to pull the plug and say Spider-Man is out of the MCU. Like, how would that explain his previous existence? Like, yeah, his existence in the previous films. Like, how would that work? Because I know Sony is still trying to develop their Spider-Verse. They are still slowly developing, which is what I'm fine with. Um, I don't remember if I decided that was a better film than Homecoming. Um, see, July 2019 was when that came out. Saw with my siblings and Lego Train Guy. And then the Blu-ray came out for it October 2019. That was when I bought the Walmart exclusive, right? The retro action figure. My sister got the Target exclusive. We've actually reviewed it on the channel here. But 2019 was also like a rough year for me. Like after high school, like, oh boy, that was when I started taking the heat. So many reasons for that. Reasons I'm not going to say. Because all I can say is that me and my family during that time, we were going through a rough patch. That's all I can say. I mean, that's what every family does, right? You got your family problems. You gotta find a lot of ways to deal with them. But at the end of the day, you're still gonna love them, no matter what. Um, I'm actually happy that 2020 gave us a break with MCU content because after San Diego Comic-Con 2019, when they released the full slate of Phase 4, like we were going to start with Disney Plus shows the beginning of 2020, and then with some movies. At least I got to enjoy Star Wars content. 2020, yep. Because if Marvel didn't pull the plug in 2020, guess what? I'd be obsessing over Marvel more than Star Wars because thanks to the Clone Wars, Rebels, and The Mandalorian, they got my love of Star Wars back. Like, yes! Yes! Like, with all the Clone Wars Season 7 hype, like, yeah! That, like, to me, I consider the final season of the Clone Wars to be the biggest deal of 2020. Because it meant so much to me. Of course, I did end up getting some MCU 4K copies. Okay, 2021 is when Phase 4 starts. Again, I'm not gonna talk about each project in here because this is mostly Disney Plus stuff. We got more Disney Plus content than movies. Which I don't understand why Marvel and Disney wants to give every character a Disney Plus series, right? They need to be like Lucasfilm, like focus on the most pivotal and important characters, right? Like WandaVision was a great start. And like I said, I'm happy to hear that the steelbook for WandaVision is coming out. Phase 4 was a mess. So I guess it's safe to say that Phase 4 of my life was definitely a mess. So really, Phase 4 started with WandaVision, ending it off with the Guardians Holiday Special. But that doesn't mean the entirety of Phase 4 was crap, alright? Again, we got some good projects in there, like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, for example, and Spider-Man No Way Home, which, by the way, Sony, I'm still demanding an extended cut for the Blu-ray. For the Blu-ray, please. If you can't release on 4K, just release the Blu-ray copy then. I need it for my physical collection. I have it on digital. That is my superior version of the movie because just like George Lucas said, no movie is ever finished. No movie is ever complete, and I believe that. We need more extended or director's cuts of the MCU. Technically, Endgame had an extended cut, which unfortunately I didn't get to see in the theaters. Like, they got to keep Endgame in there longer. And for an excuse, like, they wanted to make more money, which I'm not surprised. Phase 5, we definitely started off with a great year with it. I loved Ant-Man the Wasp, Quantumania. I watched it 3 times. I don't understand the hate that the people are giving this film. Like, well, it's usually critics, and I don't trust critics, guys, because they don't know what they're talking about. Like, I don't care about the Rotten Tomato scores or whatever. Like, just like as long as it's a good film. Like, at least I'm having the better perspective, like, going into a superhero film now where do I think it's going to be good or do I think it's going to be bad? I'm not saying Quantumania is a 10 out of 10 movie, but I'd probably give it, like, a 7 or an 8, which seems pretty fair. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I just pre-ordered the Blu-ray of it tonight. I should be getting it next week. Like I said, I know my dad is going to love this one too. I loved how Disney took the stakes and the risks with this one because after the Infinity Saga, we're now in the Multiverse Saga, like starting with Phase 4. Disney has always talked about making mature content at Disney. Like, because you know how the MCU is always family friendly? I'm sure they could still find a way to make MA and rated R MCU projects still watchable for kids. Like Marvel Zombies, like they're taking that What If animation style and making it MA, which is something I'm really looking forward to. And with Daredevil Born Again, it is possible it could be MA. And with Deadpool 3, now it's being made by Disney, they're still going to keep the R rating. Like, okay. If Disney wants to test the waters with their first R-rated MCU movie, go for it. I've already seen the 2 Deadpool films. I found number 2 better. I just need to watch the Super Duper cut and Once Upon a Deadpool. Because you guys know the story with Once Upon a Deadpool, right? Like, they wanted to see how because Deadpool is at Disney now, and he's gonna be the MCU. Like they wanted to test the waters, like how a PG-13 version of Deadpool would work. Again, I can't speak on behalf of the film because I haven't seen it yet, but like I feel like that could happen. We technically got it in X-Men Origins Wolverine when Ryan Reynolds played the original Deadpool, if you will. Like I love that version, by the way. Yeah, like bring it. Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. Let's do it. This is basically your homecoming. You're reuniting since like 2009. Like, my gosh. And of course we got Secret Invasion, the first Disney Plus show in the MCU this year. It was okay. I thought the last episode from yesterday was pretty good. I haven't heard anything about Ironheart. Hopefully they'll delay it, because I despised her character in Wakanda Forever. Even the suit looks pretty crap. I feel like Disney knew what they were doing with this year's slate of MCU projects. It's like they started off great with 2 movies and a Disney Plus show so far. I think they pushed back the Marvels, which, hey, I'm okay with it. I'm still going to go see it. I just don't know if I'm going to go see every Phase 5 movie, but we'll see. Like I said, the last 2 have been great. I feel like Phase 5 in my life is like we're going to start out fresh, like going back to basics, right? Again, let me know in the comments how the MCU has impacted your life like that. Like, what kind of phases are you going through in your life? Literally, like, over the years, the MCU has been my top concern, my number one priority. Like how it left a huge impact in my life. And like I said, whatever MCU project is good or bad, I'm still going to, like, even buy it both physically and digitally, just to have, like, a library of it, like, if people want to ask, like, and what should I recommend for them to watch? Like, oh, watch this or check this out, etc., right? Wow, this video is going on way too long. I think I'm just going to stop it here, guys. Like I said, I only wanted to talk about some certain stuff with the MCU, how it has impacted my life. Like I said, I'm happy that I'm having better criticisms with movies now and TV shows, just because, like, I'm older. I'm 22. Like, I don't want to be blinded by the fact, of course I care about quality over quantity, right? Let's not forget that that's extremely important. And, like, I don't mind if Marvel still releases, like, 3 or 4 films a year. They were kind of doing that with Phase 4. No, yes, Phase 4, but they were kind of starting to do that with Phase 3. That's what I meant to say. With every year with Phase 2, they were releasing 2 films a year. Not bad. Alright, so again, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoy. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Please on the post notification, share my content if you haven't already. And, yeah, I've really got nothing else to say. So, again, thank you so much for watching, guys. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks, bye, and may the Lord be with you guys. Always love, guys. Peace out, guys. And remember, Avengers assemble. Alright, you have a good night, guys. Bye.